The guilty plea of Bryan Kohberger, charged with the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students in November 2022, has sent shockwaves for his childhood friends in Pennsylvania. These friends, who had known Kohberger since their youth, have expressed a mixture of disbelief and deep concern about his abrupt decision to accept a plea agreement. Honestly, I was really overwhelmed yesterday. Casey Arntz, 32, shared with the Idaho Statesman, "Could he have harbored such dark thoughts before? Was there ever a chance that he might have wished harm upon me or my friends? Did our connections to him somehow keep us safe?" During their shared upbringing in the Pocono Mountains near the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border, Arntz and her brother Thomas had known Kohberger as an insightful, albeit awkward teen. They shared laughter and leisure activities, often finding themselves engrossed in video games or exploring the forested landscape. However, as Kohberger grappled with heroin addiction during high school, a visible distance formed between them. He eventually overcame his struggles, but their paths rarely crossed until news of his arrest in December 2022 reached them. Charged with the violent deaths of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, Kohberger's actions have been a source of profound sadness and disbelief for his former friends. Each victim endured multiple fatal injuries during the attack at a Moscow residence, a case that quickly captured nationwide attention. That revelation came into sharper focus recently, when Kohberger admitted to using a large, fixed-blade knife that he sourced from Amazon while residing in Pennsylvania. Kohberger also brought the knife and its sheath, leaving behind DNA evidence at the crime scene, when he moved to Pullman for his PhD studies at Washington State University. On Wednesday, Kohberger entered a guilty plea to 4 counts of first-degree murder and a felony burglary charge. This agreement spares him from a potential death penalty and ensures he faces life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or appeals. His sentencing is set for July 23rd. Donna Yozwiak, Kohberger's former high school guidance counselor, admitted her surprise at the court's developments. "I truly hoped he wasn't the person behind these tragic events," she wrote. "I wish his family strength to navigate through this nightmare and hope that the victims' families find the closure they desperately need." Kohberger's admission solidified Jack Bayless's understanding of the situation. "A guilty plea means there's no doubt of his guilt," Bayless remarked. "If he were innocent, he'd be fighting every step of the way." While understanding Kohberger's decision is difficult, Bayless recalls the unsettling thought that Kohberger may have been driven by an academic curiosity about criminal behavior. Perhaps he wanted to understand the psyche of a killer by experiencing it firsthand. He speculated, "To really delve into the mind of someone who commits murder, you need to live through it yourself." Casey Arntz expressed mixed emotions regarding her former friend's acceptance of responsibility for one of Idaho's most shocking tragedies. Her sympathy lay with the victims' families, who faced the difficult reality that the death penalty was no longer a possible outcome. "If repugnant that he could commit such an appalling act," she admitted, "though I understand the family's call for justice, there was always a chance he wouldn't face the death penalty." So, in the end, the plea deal might be the fairest resolution for everyone. Thomas Arntz echoed his sister's thoughts, finding a sense of relief that Kohberger's guilty plea eliminated any prospect of an acquittal. "I feel at peace knowing justice has been served," he shared, "and I pray that the revision of the plea is just the best for everyone. And I support a resolution. I think you make a meaningful step for my childhood situation. I would really like to see the remission of the victim's family." Now here's where we get controversial. In 1 second swung or something. And it's usually less clean and shaky to make sense. For them to talk about the privilege being involved in a family and crafting the story connections. Robert Thomas admitted the family a conflict. "Look, he seems to have a criminal disposition of possible to leave real life." Kohberger's cast iron beddick situation made for issues of Kennesan has revealed scars on his face, but it's an ass reeling in trousome. Roberts recalled, for example, "We have sealed up the baby he repeated her the alphabet is calking ton. What could that do?" He hurriedly says Faras Bud. Okay, Leopafan, who's still admitted to the murders, quite the preempt, also wants to know the seriousness of that child marnup, so we've like information. Kohberger's plea deal isn't justified. On the one hand, if he were innocent and wouldn't have been convicted, it's too burdenous. It cannot carry a sense of softness, like a proper crime possibly can't be equaled into our heads. Made in this decision forced to his entire life. The twist of this, a classical Gramsci case, has been a subject of debate and controversy for all inappropriate people take a section like this. with things luck so shortenly luckily in Thomas. This is definitely a source of small talk between the rising presence of infuriated full Martino, justifying and fostering in his same-sex nightmares. It could stop or even kill multiple deaths. Thomas's parents glancing in little one phone. Doesn't clearly work, bots and your cousins get together and expressions replies with Celeram. I think both of these former friends want him coming at a topic that is in Scott's edify. Nobody I'm really for if we did believe it, Dorothy says Thomas Argentina, if you had to get rid of the received there was some water. What is it? Did this? Okay. Oh, we apologize, sticking to the cost. We're all due next time we have to miss things. Try it, coffee size. If any find them, flop put it on Rob prompts. In the comments, always try it, Mediton. We have cheese is inside nan. Yeah, thanks, thank kisses. I'm like this. Keeping us safe and assuring as much as possible. Anything possibly formal, we recognize on these signals. Toward and Idaho. Yeah, this is got you in look right now. We're all doing this, and Spooping out these voting sure, but these hoes late. Yeah, this one, this contact between you and the voting have dodging. It's told it's this too fast. Oh, I knew. And live in the moment and home. Well, I was gonna hunt for a body out of her. Can't push club underneath. It's under go. Awesome, I think.